Coach will not make an opening statement. We'll just take questions.
Chris, for y'all on the road, some of the struggles you guys have had, seeing turnovers have played a big part in that. How big do you feel that was early, kind of Alabama establishing some momentum and running away with it a bit?
Yeah, it's. I said it earlier in the season. It definitely had become an Achilles heel for us, and we've had a couple games where we kept the number, satisfactory. But unfortunately, when things start going off the rails, that's usually an area that we can point to that has given us problems. And this league is so dynamic and athletic that when you turn that thing over, and more often than not, when it's a live ball turnover, it turns into conversions, and especially when you're on the road, it changes the tenor of the game. The crowds get into it, and the confidence lowers a little bit. So we certainly had a lot of problems tonight, but that was one of them.
Go to Justin over here next to Morgan.
Chris, obviously the schedule opens up a little bit after a week with two very tough road games. What do you feel like will be most important for you guys in terms of how you respond from this weekend tonight to keep the season, I guess, going on the right track?
I just told the team that I felt really good about coming into this game. I really did, about our plan, about how we were playing, and we were real confident that way. And I told them that everything I had said to them heading into this game was all true. It was how I felt internally. I wasn't trying to, trick them or make them feel better than they should. But unfortunately, I just remember it was 23-17 and we were down, and I remember telling one of the staff guys, like, man, I like how the game's being played. We missed some bunnies and we had turned it over. We had a chance to have a better, deficit at that point, but we didn't. And then all of a sudden, it just changed quickly, and we went out one of their patent runs, and we find ourselves obviously in a big hole. But in terms of how we go forward, we got veteran guys. Fortunately or unfortunately, and depending on your perspective, we've been in this situation already in our short tenure here at Mississippi State. Last year at the turn, we were 2-7, and we found a way to stay together and continue to practice and fight, and we ended up turning the tide a little bit and making the NCAA tournament. Will that happen again? Who knows? But I'm pretty confident that I've got a group of men in there that will understand that we've got to, move on. We've got to process this, and by Monday when we get together, we got to start, thinking about how we're going to, get a win in this league, and we'll be at home.
Gentleman in the red jacket, black hat in the back, Coach.
Coach, I know you guys went to Tolu early. You got Grant Nelson in foul trouble, which I'm sure you really wanted to do. But now that you've seen Alabama for the second time, how did they kind of counter that? What did you see as far as areas of improvement that gave you problems tonight?
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. Their plan was to play Tolu one-on-one and just throw a bunch of different bodies at him with different sizes and shape, and not really worry if they got in any foul trouble. Just playing one-on-one and tried to get him to beat them that way, and not give him the opportunity to kick the cutters or kick the open three guys, and then really give Hubbard a ton of attention, when he had the ball with, trapping the ball screens and trying to take away, our two leading scorers. And obviously, it was a good plan and it worked very well for them. There's, I don't know, they're still the same team that I thought. They play their system, they're committed to it. They shot 48 threes, and I'm sure if they had their way, they'd shoot 50 or 60, every given night. And, when you shoot those long shots, it sets up opportunities to get long rebounds. They're hard to rebound from three like that over the course of the night. But, we got to give them a lot of credit. They played awfully well, and obviously deserve to win the game.
Go back to Steph in the middle.
Chris, do you guys have any update on DJ? Was it the play before the timeout that he had gotten hurt?
Yeah, it was the play before. He went down right in front of our bench, and then there was a timeout, and then he didn't ask to be taken out, and the trainer didn't tell me that he was out. And then when I looked up and saw the next play where he was gimping around, I'm like, what is he doing? And they gave him the opportunity because of an injury to get out of the game, and then at that point the trainer told me that he was through for the night. They don't have sort of probably haven't examined it yet or anything like that, so I don't have any further update at this point.
Go to Benjamin next to Steph. Coach.
Been a few subpar offensive games for Tolu. I know definitely a bright spot for him tonight to have him sort of back on track in terms of scoring in the paint. Obviously, it helped that their two bigs fouled out, but how good a sign is that for your team going forward?
Yeah, I mean, when people choose to play in single coverage, that's what he has to do. We don't coach every team. Everyone has a different plan. Some nights they're adamant that he's not going to get a bunch of attempts around the basket with different double teams, etc. But tonight they chose that, and he responded pretty well. Certainly would have played more minutes if the score would have been closer. And at that point, I just felt like it was probably best for him to just stay over there and get ready for the next one. But he certainly made some baskets, got to the line. Obviously needs to convert a little bit better at the line, but he did what we expect him to do when he receives that kind of coverage.
All right, we're good. Thank you, guys.